Established by Decree 10 of 1993, it is an agency under the Ministry of Information. Its focus is supposed to be the orientation and reorientation of Nigerians to issues of nation building. On this week's edition of the program, we take a look at the National Orientation Agency's Change Campaign. Hello there, welcome to Dateline Abuja. I'm Gloria Umezuki. The National Orientation Agency's role is to develop the Nigerian society that is orderly, responsible and disciplined, where citizens demonstrate core values of honesty, hard work and patriotism. Well, I spoke with the Director General of the agency on this week's edition of the program. But coming up next.
Cognizant that person's identification.
The House of Representatives is proposing a fine of 100,000 naira for anyone caught distorting the national flag. Take a listen. The national flag bears the identity of Nigeria's nationhood, showcasing her peace and natural endowments. To ensure that the national flag earns its respectful place among Nigerians, the House of Representatives considered a bill seeking to provide 100,000 naira fine for people who distort the national flag. The sponsor said that the bill, intended to amend Flag and Coat of Arms Act 2004, will make further provisions to preserve the country's national heritage.
We had actually had a motion which was unanimously passed on the abuses that the flag of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has suffered. So far, it is clear that these changes that were actually envisaged in the motion have not been implemented by the National Orientation Agency. Therefore, this bill is intended to check those abuses.
The bill seeks to amend Section 10 of the Principal Act by removing the fine of 100 naira and replacing same with the sum of 100,000 naira. Those who contributed to the discussion observed that there is a need to raise the consciousness towards protecting the country's national pride.
National flag is a great image that protects and projects a country. We have seen many flags today being produced in this our country. You don't even know the one to choose. You don't even know the one to place in your office. It shows that we disregard issues of legislation that have been enacted by a constituted body like National Assembly.
It's a little bit worrisome when you see that even our children no longer know the shade of the color of green that is the Nigerian flag. And you also see the coat of arms, most often, superimposed on the Nigerian flag. So it becomes green, white, green with a coat of arms. And clearly that is not our flag.
The eyes of it.
The bill has passed second reading in the House of Representatives. In our interview, Dr. Garba Abari speaks about 18 years of democracy in Nigeria, the fight against corruption and the campaign to entrench patriotism among Nigerians. Dr. Abari, Garba, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Now, May 29, 2017 really marks the second anniversary of the present administration. And after 18 years of democratic rule, how exactly would you rate democracy in Nigeria at the moment?
18 years of democratic rule, I think we are not yet there. We are definitely not yet there. It is still work in progress.
How far away are we?
Quite far. You don't talk of democracy and the democratic processes in an area where institutions are weak. The population itself is not fully engaged in the democratic processes. A lot of social, political, economic exclusion, political parties are just platforms for electoral contest. They hardly mobilize. They hardly synthesize. They don't educate. What you have are only people who just get mobilized on election day to go and cast votes for what they do not even understand. What we need to do in order to deepen this democracy is to engage from where it should be started, which is the grassroots, but which unfortunately is that segment of our demographic structure that is being most excluded.
But how concerned is NOA about this? Do you have any role to play in reshaping this trend?
The NOA as a government agency has a role to play. There are also other stakeholders that should play complementary roles. But let me start with the National Orientation Agency first. The law that sets up the agency talks about or mandates the agency to propagate government policies and programs and inform the citizens and elicit feedback. And at the same time, inculcate in the citizenry all the core values, the universally cherished values, without which no country makes progress. In the case of Nigeria, these values are encapsulated in Section 2, subsection 23 of the Nigerian Constitution. Unfortunately, many of the citizens, including our topmost elites, are not even aware that these are the core values that should govern our national life. The values of honesty, discipline, self-reliance, tolerance, love for a nation, and what have you.
So would you say that you're ramming down change